to take you maybe for half an hour also to the bazaar to go for a free walk. You like it? The way you say yes or no doesn't matter. I want living tourists, huh? Okay, very good. You might be awakened after 1 week from now. Who knows? Be patient.
Basically, the statues were so that the sun god would be able to find the king or whoever it was that was buried. Here's a very, very old sarcophagus, which is basically just a casket. So basically the statues were insurance for whoever was buried, that they would be able to get up again. We're now inside the Egyptian Museum.
Might be met by the bad luck. So I have two parts. The right part is the good part, and the weak part is where my heart is the left part. So, I should go first with the left leg, because the left leg is the bad leg. Should meet first the bad luck, and be mixed together, and everything be settled then for the next step, which is right. I have first to start with the left leg, which is the bad one, to reach first the bad luck, and settle on it, and then I could do everything I do, or would I do it with the right leg. That's why the left leg always forward. There is no space between the arm and the body until the four two legs. There's uniform with short skirt. The hair is always hidden by hairdress, always. You should have always hairdress, head dress. Head dress. Head or hair? Head dress. And uniform with short skirt. So please come closer to me, this statue. We have 600 pharaohs ruled Egypt. 600 pharaohs ruled Egypt. All of their treasures, unfortunately, have been robbed. Except for one lucky pharaoh. His name was Tutankhamun. Say Tutankhamun in English. Tutankhamun. Or the King Tut. His name was Tutankhamun. This pharaoh was a very poor one. He has only 1,000 kilograms of solid gold, 2,500 pounds of gold, only his tomb. And the other pharaohs, and his tomb was as wide as this gallery, for example, half of this gallery. The other pharaohs, their tomb was 3 times as big as this gallery. So no comparison between this poor pharaoh and the other pharaohs. But that's the only one that we found everything intact in 1922.
That were found at King Tut's tomb, Tutankhamun. And these are, of course, the treasures that were found with the sarcophagus.
Play with, make music. A baby is but a king of 15, 40 kids, especially with 2 records.
That includes bread, wine, thousands of years old. And he kept pointing out that Tutankhamun was 29 years old, so he was a baby. So they have rattles and all kinds of things.
So the bread, that is the sign by the power of physics spell, the sign was so big with all those kinds of things and grain, those two little golden cartouches. Here's the whole box that sells big cartouche. When I say cartouche, I mean that the name of the pharaoh is there and he wants to read it. Who could read now hieroglyphics? Only the archaeologists and the American people because of all this language. Now you read it. In the middle of the cartouche, see a baby fish. The fish are old.
Douche of Tutankhamun. This part means Tut, which means perfect. Ankh, which is life, so it's perfect as the life of Amun, the god Amun. Tutankhamun. So this is simply his name, and that's what we put in the cartouche.
Where the great university of the
This is a proof that the crime is useless, because although the minister of Tutankhamun cheated him as he was baby and took the gold and put in brass instead, which gave the same color, we found the guilty person, but it's too late because both are the oppressed and the guilty are both dead. So, but even after 3,500 years, the crime was already discovered. Huh? This is a proof that Tutankhamun had been cheated by someone and he should be killed, otherwise he knew he had been cheated because he didn't put pure gold in his funeral furniture, his minister. Tourist with camera or with video. Why? Take a picture when you go home, see, look at Egypt, camels, donkey, pyramids, we have been to Egypt. That's the same thing. Tutankhamun wanted to take also pictures that when he go back to the paradise, he could see himself. Oh, I was once fishing with a boat, spear. Once I was a baby, and the baby Caesar carried me. Once when I was in a hunting expedition. Once when I was walking down the street. All those pictures, different attitudes, were put in the tomb of Tutankhamun to be with him before after death. We go back to Tutankhamun. This is a roof when you
the old papyrus. So this is thousands of years old.
Decorated in
decorations,
in
faience,
glass, semi-precious stones and silver. On the back panel is a representation of the king who is seated in an easy attitude while
the queen is standing
and anointing him.
Aton, solar disk.
The Aten solar disk sends its rays above the royal couple.
Thanks a lot. Very good. See, he said Aton, the solar disk, sends its rays above the royal couple. Look what you see at the end of each ray. What would you see at the end of each ray? See nothing, huh? Visual eyes would see nothing, huh? Too bad. Yeah. So hands, very good. So the sun sends its many hands to hug its son, because the sun is the son of the sun. That's one thing. Second thing, look at the dress of the queen, who is anointing the pharaoh. She's wearing a translucent galabiya, translucent kaftan, and you can see all her body. Why should I have done that? Because he keeps his eyes open while she is anointing his body. Woman trick. Look at the feet of the woman and the feet of her husband. How many pair of sandals both have?
But one thumb only.
Where the poor people don't have enough two pair of sandals to wear them, or they want to share everything, their love, even their sandals. That he has one sandal and she has the other one. So both together they have one pair of sandals. And later on she killed him. So be careful from the woman, huh? Don't trust. So here he sits on this throne for 9 years, from 9 to 18. The chair is coated with gold, 24 karat gold. And in the back of the wife, you see an incense burner, give a nice smoke, nice perfume in the room, while the queen is making massage to her husband with perfume oil. Look at her hand, she was right-handed. She holds the pot by her left hand, and she works by her right hand. You were right-handed. Big one. And the footstool has figures of 6, of 9 prisoners. 5 and 4. Are the 9 people? No. Look at their hair, the hairdress. Each one is different, a different fashion. Right? It shows you where he come from. Those were 9 African kings, or 9 African countries. All their hands were tied, and the king put his feet above them. He conquered Africa and Asia. This sign, if you read it from here, say modern Australian boomerangs. Compare with those who in camel in the last case. Australians, you know the boomerangs, was found in Australia. 3,400 years ago, we have the boomerangs, even some of them made of ivory, before the Australian boomerangs. Sorry for Australian.
These are the bells of Tutankhamun. Very high up, and what they did was the king would go into a bed and they would set it on top of this, so he looked like he was riding something.
Thank you. Actually, there were 3, not 2. Very good, because each one was inside the other. You saw the innermost one in the right side, that's pure gold. 110 kilogram of gold. More than 300 pounds of solid gold. The mummy with this golden coffin was found inside the second one, which is the left side. But And the one on the left was not gold. It was made of wood covered with gold sheet. Both of them were in the third one. The three together were in stone sarcophagus, like the ones we saw down the stairs. So now you could imagine how much gold was put inside those empty sarcophagi we saw them down the stairs. Three golden coffins inside one stone sarcophagus. So the mummy, three golden coffins together in a stone sarcophagus, all of them were inside the shrine, which made of wood covered with gold leaves. This one inside the other one. I'm sure that I get it.
How can they carry all this weight? One side the other, do it on the spot. So heavy.
Actually, this shrine is roofless and floorless. And when you go to the tomb, you see two levels. We stand in one level and we look down. We see now a stone sarcophagus contain a golden coffin with a mummy. Originally, they bought those four shrines, each one inside the other, or each one above the other. Because if where you are now, if you look at the opening, no, come this way, come closer, come on, more closer, no closer to me. Now, I would say why the entrance then was made. That's false entrance. False for the thieves when they come in darkness and look for the entrance and they find a vault. Oh, we found it. And they open it and they open the door, but they cannot open the other one because it's bigger than the entrance. So this is why they make one inside one, inside one, inside one. Coffin, inside coffin, inside coffin, inside stone sarcophagus, inside shrine. Because they want to do their best to hide the mummy from the thieves. If it's only one golden coffin and one golden shrine, that's it. If you come visit the tomb, open it, the king is at his disposal. But they want to make it like submarine, to be completely isolated from anybody. Could come to attack the tomb, take one shrine, go away, he still has three. Come back, take another one, he still has one. Come back, still has a stone sarcophagus with another golden coffins. They want to do their best to hide the mummy from the thieves. The third one was put inside the fourth one.
How did they remove them?
It took 8 years. 8 years to dismantle them. Look at this girl and look at her feet. Look at her ankle. She has an ankle bracelet, right? I'm going to show you something like that inside the museum. Also similar to this one.
What?
No, just talking to her.
You have an ankle bracelet. You're an ancient Egyptian kid.
Here in the museum. Not the last thing, of course, was the end of 1 hour and a half. And then you have half an hour. Either you go by yourself, take pictures, and if you like to see something else, you could stick beside me and I'm going to show you something else for 10 more minutes, and then we'll give you 20 minutes to take pictures. So now you like to go away by yourself or you stay 10 minutes beside me? Ordinary people. We should speak a little about them. Those were some ordinary people like servants, owners of shops, fishers. These pictures reflect to us how was the life in ancient Egypt and recreate a life again in such pictures, because we see what did they wear, how did they work, everything through those models or the maquettes which were found in the tombs. This woman, for example, is a servant. What servant is? Woman does only the very cheap work. Like you in Europe now, if there's some kind of work you don't accept, if you bring some people from Africa or from Asia, do it. The same thing, Egypt also, there were some kind of works they did not want to do it, and they brought people from Africa and Asia to do that work. One of those works was carrying the food or the offerings and give it to the tombs for the soul of the dead people. This is what our gentleman is going to read to us now. What is this?
Offering bearer carrying a square basket with 4 jars of beer or wine and holding a live duck in her right hand.
That's right. After this, net.
A net of red and green cylindrical and ball beads is stitched on her dress of white linen.
Thank you, that's very good. See, her dress is a net of green and red cylindrical ball beads is stitched on her tight tunic. She has tight tunic with 2 strips around the shoulder, which are very fashionable today. The woman go to nightclub or dinner outside with such tight tunic that shows all her body with 2 strips around the shoulder. Very much, because they had never seen these characters before. But later on, this woman introduced to Egypt the chicken, which was not known in Egypt at that time, from Asia Minor. And she introduced many crops and many seeds from Asia, who was not known to the Egyptians, who were so gratitude to this woman and accepted to make her size for the first time and last time as big as her husband after being hated by the Egyptians. Because usually the woman in ancient Egypt was shown between the feet of the man, as you might see in other navies. But the Egyptians, because they hated this woman in the beginning because she was so strange, and they wanted her to forgive them, to make her size for the first time as big as the pharaoh himself. That's one piece of limestone being 90 tons, 90,000 kilograms.
So this is the Egyptian Museum. The mummy room has been closed. It's been closed for 5 years, and I guess it will not open again because the mummies are beginning to decay. So these are very ancient things, some of them 4,000 or 5,000 years old. That are here are the sarcophagi, which are basically caskets made out of stone. Now the reason for that is, of course, that the pharaohs wanted to preserve their bodies because that's the only way they could come back to life. If for some reason their body was not preserved, then they would have statues made of themselves. And again, because if the body wasn't there, then the statue would be there as a substitute. So all the things that are found with the pharaohs are things to help them when they again wake up. And that would be food and wealth and whatever. And that's why King Tut had so much gold with him. There are some more of the sarcophagi. It wasn't only the pharaohs, it was also the ordinary working people. And sometimes on the side of the sarcophagus that they have, instead of having their wealth with them, they would simply have pictures of the things that they owned, so that in the next life when they woke up again, then all those things would be returned to them. So they kind of kept a diary of everything that they owned. So this is the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. It's a very big place. The writings that you see, or the pictures, are pictures of the pharaohs, or pictures of the people, their servants, all the things that they own, and of course lots of times, because sometimes if their pictures were destroyed, then they can still write their names, the cartouches. could also be a substitute for the picture